the Citrus Podcast Show, your fresh squeeze of music, art, and culture. As always, I'm your host, Ky Richy. Today, our special guest is a Sacramento-based artist.
Yes, sir.
Putting on for the Christian Hip Hop movement. Tonight, we have Mission.
Yo, what's up with it, man?
What's up? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to the Atrium. Welcome to the Citrus Podcast.
Absolutely.
You did Good Day Sacramento recently. That's how I kind of heard about you.
Oh,
and
dope.
So, you were on the news, man. So, tell us about that experience,
Man, it was dope. Actually, my wife set it up. I didn't really know nothing about it, but I know she seen like an Instagram. I think Courtney seen an Instagram reel that I did. It was me rapping over. It was a classic beat, the International Players.
Okay.
And she reached out to my wife because my wife had reached out to her a while back and she didn't respond. But when she seen that, she was like, "Oh, I seen this." And then she seen the email from my wife and she was like, "We want to have you on and interview you." So I was like, it was dope. Like, I'd never been on the news before.
Yeah.
Glad to be on the news for something good.
No, I saw that little video you put together behind the scenes and stuff.
Sure.
I was laughing when you're like, "Hey, I can get used to this green room right here."
For sure.
Sorry, we don't have a green room for you today.
It's one of the better podcasts I ever been on. So.
Okay, dope, man. Well, for the listeners at home who aren't familiar with your music, do you want to give us a little background about how you started and got into music?
So, man, I'm originally from Greenville, Mississippi. I've been out here for a while, so I just say I'm from Sacramento.
Okay.
So, I grew up, in the South, and, I was influenced heavily by the Southern culture.
Yeah.
Like T.I. and, all those different type of cats. But when I came to Sacramento is when I got introduced to God and to church. So being heavily influenced from the Southern culture and then now being influenced by the church, kind of like the two kind of mixed with like, because when I first started rapping, I had more of a Southern slang accent, but and that was years ago. I'm 35 now. That was like
you moved here. You were like 9 years old.
I was 9 years old. Okay. I was 9, but I was back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Until I was 16.
Okay.
So I was both heavily influenced, but once I was 16, like Cali kind of just took over.
Yeah.
And for a while, I had that same that Southern style, but then just as I got older, I was just heavily influenced by the West Coast, and they welcomed me.
Was it always? Were you always doing Christian style music, or did you have like a turning point in your artistry where you kind of?
Yeah. So when I first started, I was not doing Christian music. I was definitely doing regular hip hop, and I was more, I was talking about a whole bunch of stuff I wasn't doing. It was one line I was like, "I'm selling crack cocaine," like for real, and I never in my life.
It's just what was trendy.
It was what was trendy. So I was just saying stuff trying to be cool. Yeah. And then once I started going to church more, and I actually gave my life over and really started living that. Yeah. That's when I started, rapping about what I'm actually living, my morals and standards and things like that. So, that's when I made the switch. When I really, really started going hard was like in my 20s. Okay. And that's when I started doing Christian hip hop.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I feel like the Christian hip hop movement is just like taking off more than ever right now.
It's going crazy.
And it's like becoming mainstream. You're hearing Christian artists just on like not Christian radio stations anymore, and even like Miles Minnick was that Rolling Loud and stuff like that. So
it's dope, man, to see because like we've been doing it for so long and now for us to get the looks and the respect for one, because like when people hear Christian, they're like, "Oh man, you know what I'm saying?" But for me, a lot of my songs, I'm just talking about what I'm going through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not a bunch of like beating you over the head with the Bible. And the people that do that, it's a lane for that. So it's no diss to them. But my music is more, about my morals, my standards, and how, I choose to lead. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. So even Courtney, going back to the news, she was like, when I heard it, didn't really sound like Christian. And I was like, if you really listen, it is. Yeah. But but it's really being respected, and I think we're doing a good job of like making sure the music is up to par, making sure that people can listen to it like it's actually a vibe, and it's not just a whole bunch of low quality bad music.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that was probably a big challenge for Christian artists is to get the masses to be behind it, because you want to make music that's like cool and trendy that your peers will listen to, but at the same time, you're trying to put the word out there. You know, you're trying to put that into your music. So I could see that being kind of a challenge. And what would you say for an artist who's like on the fence? They want to make that style of music, but they're worried about what their like peers, you know, would think. And
yeah, I think you just got to be authentic in anything you do. So like if you doing whatever you're doing, like when I said I wasn't even living what I was rapping. So like if that's your lifestyle, if that's what you do, I would say just go for it and be yourself, be your authentic self. Right. Don't look at how I do it and then just, I'm gonna do it just like that. Like you can take inspiration from people. Yeah. But I would just tell them like, you know, just be honest in your music. You know what I'm saying? Be honest about where you are. Yeah. And when you talk about that, people can relate because you never know who might be in that same place of on the fence. And you talking about you being on the fence may help, you know, somebody. So I would say just be authentic in everything you do. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah, no, I think, being authentic, like, really speaks to people, and they know when you're, you know, faking the fuck, for sure. You know? So, sure. I feel like that really, you know, kicks off your movement and gets things going. And, so a song I'm actually really into of yours right now is "Do It Alone."
Oh yeah.
That's the jam right there, man. Thanks. I've been slapping that one. But that's off an older project. What is that? 2023?
Yeah, 2023. It's called Second Wind.
Second Wind. Okay.
It's on Second Wind.
Okay. And then you just dropped a new one. You're gonna be performing tonight. A song off of that one, right?
Yeah, it's called Famous, and you know, it's once again me talking about, you know, just being authentic. Like, there was a point in time where I wanted to be famous. I wanted the money and, you know, all that. I still want the money. Don't get it twisted. But you know, it's just really, you know, and off that project, it's True Talk Tony. It's like my alter ego. It's just like where I'm gonna be brutally honest about, you know, whatever it is, where I'm at in my life. And, you know, just that song Famous, which I'll be doing it today, it's just about, you know, it's just about that, man. It's just about being like, nah, this is something I want, you know what I'm saying? But let me check my priorities. Let me check, you know what I'm saying, see where my heart is, if it's in the right place or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. When did you, so you were talking about when you first started, but when did you really get serious and like just start going for it? And what kind of projects were you putting out in that time frame?
I think so there was this group that I was a part of. It was RPSMG. And man, like we had a crazy run, which was short lived. But, you know, people still come up to me today and be like, man, RPSMG, man, like I was a kid listening to you guys.
Was that like a group you guys
That was a group. Okay. Yeah, it was called Rock, Paper, Scissors Music Group. And it's RPSMG. So I think that was around like 2013-ish. That's when I really started taking it. It was like, oh no, people really listening to us. That was the download era. Okay. And, you know, people was downloading our music. We had
a you talking about downloads. You talking about like Dat Piff and
all that.
The mixtape era.
The mixtape era, and people, like, we was putting the music up and people were downloading it like crazy.
I missed that era, man.
Me too,
that was like when you really put a project together with a theme and just So I feel like now it's changed now. You know, it's all about singles, and I feel like it's not as timeless, a lot of the music that's out there.
Because people don't put time into projects no more because, like, even when I drop an album, speaking of Second Wind, like, I can see that the first 5 songs are listened to the most because people attention span, you know, and as it goes down, the streams just go down and down. So it's not like people pick and choose what they want to listen to now. And it's like they don't give the artist that respect. It's just like, hey, I took a year to make this. Can you just listen to the whole thing?
They have no idea what goes into it. So.
Exactly.
But I mean, when you drop a project, what's kind of like your rollout lately? Like, what do you?
So now it's changed so much, man. Like, I don't even shoot music videos unless the song go. Yeah. So like normally I'm gonna get some content together. Like, I try to promote a song like in a week, right? Okay. So like Monday I'll be like, all right, got something dropping, or I'll drop a snippet and then snippet of a reel, and then, you know, Tuesday I'll kind of reshare it on, you know, stories, just getting people talking about it. And then, you know, one thing that I like to do is like, hey, comment. If I get 1,000 comments, we'll drop the song. I know I'm gonna drop the song anyway. So, you know, it really changes. But
just trying to get them to engage.
Trying to get them to engage, man. Yeah. And really, because now you really can be a star overnight, man. Right. If you work that TikTok right, if you work the Instagram right, and you get the right people and the right, you know, views and engagement on one song, it really could go for you. I've seen it happen for several people. So my rollout is like, get a reel, hope it go. You know what I'm saying?
Where's like the compromise in trying to keep a standard of your like artistry but also trying to keep up with like the trends and to do, you know, the shorts and the reels. Like where
it's man, you know, like I think I gotta do, it goes back to being authentic. Like that's where it's like, all right, if I see something that's trendy, and I'm like, that's not really me. So I can't do that. But there are trends, you know, that I will do. I'm like, okay, if it's something like dancing or something goofy, like I can get into that. But if it's something where, you know, my morals, or if my kids can't see it, or my wife gonna like, bro, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's how I kind of gauge everything that I'm doing. And I don't like to follow trends too much, especially when it comes to music, because everybody is doing the same thing. Yeah. But like when it comes to promotion, oh yeah, I definitely do a trend. Like
I think I saw one of your reels. You had some dancers
for sure.
Yeah. Were that is that like, you know, those dancers in the kind of Christian community, or just they just do dance?
It's family and friends.
Family and friends. Okay.
And that's what I tell people all the time. It's like, man, you got to use family and friends, bro. Like that was my wife in that video. One of the dudes is my producer. Yeah. The other one is my wife's cousin, and then the other one is just a friend I've known forever. Okay. And like I was like, hey, I need y'all to do this. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We just did it.
I didn't know she's from like your church or something. Yeah. Or
no. I don't even think Jayla go to church.
No. She's a dope dancer, and she's down to get behind it. Yeah. Right. Okay, dope.
Yeah, dope. But you know, like I said, it's all family and friends, man. Yeah. We not walking around floating just only with Christian people all the time.
Yeah,
you know
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
yeah. If you had met her, you know, through that or something. Well, so what are some of like the artists you've been working with, you know, that's kind of, you know, back in the movement? Because it seems like really popular right now.
Yeah, nah, man. Who am I working with right now? I'm finna do something with Lil Dre Day. Okay. He's from Sacramento. Christian Lane, I'm gonna do something with him. I've done stuff with him before. Who else, man? K Mosh. Man, who am I working with right now?
Well, an artist that follows you, I think you know him, Ky.
Yeah, Ky. Yeah, just did a feature with him. Shout out to him, bro. Okay. I've been knowing him for a long time. We go back, like he just dropped a song called Cold Red featuring me.
Okay.
Make sure y'all copy
you're on that?
Yeah, okay, I'm on it. Yeah, I was sharing it. I got to shoot a reel to it.
Okay.
I got to do something to it. But yeah, no, it's a dope record that he just dropped. And he from I don't want to get I think he's from Long Beach. Okay. I know you're from Southern Cali.
I lived out in Long Beach for a while.
Oh, dope.
I was out there for like 4 or 5 years, and I was working out of this studio. I was in Inglewood, right by SoFi Stadium. Okay. And they were just building that at the time. So,
you rap too, or?
Yeah. Right now, lately, I've been into playing my guitar and singing. Okay. But all my other projects are all hip hop, R&B stuff. Dope. So
you gotta work, man.
Yeah, no, definitely. After this, I'll show you some stuff, and we could definitely get a studio sesh going.
That'll be fire.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So that's where he's from? He's out in Long Beach?
Southern Cali. It might be, It might be Long Beach. Yeah. I think it's Long Beach. Don't kill me, bro. He's a super dope artist too, man. So definitely want to shout him out for that. Yeah.
Okay, dope.
Get me on there.
Yeah, no worries. So you just dropped a project, right? Yeah. Anything else like in the works right now?
Yeah, I'm actually on the way here. I was listening to this song that I'm going to drop. Motion. I just got to finish it. It's called Motion. I don't know when it's coming out. It'll probably be at the end of this month or the beginning of the next month. It's called Motion, so that's definitely finna come out. I just got to finish it. You know what I'm saying? Get it mixed and mastered and sent in. So I haven't really even been dropping a lot of music.
Trying to promote the stuff you have.
Yeah, trying to promote the stuff I have because, you know, I got friends who some of them release once a week, once every 2 weeks, and once a month. And I can do that, but I'm more so like, man, look, I want to take my time on some stuff. Right. And there was a time I was releasing, like last year I released a lot of music. Yeah. And this year I was like, all right, how can I, you know, become a bigger artist without having to release so much music? So there's a lot of things I'm doing behind the scenes.
Where is that line to you as far as like quantity versus quality, you know, like trying to keep up or feeling pressured to have to put stuff out, you know, but you want it to be quality. Like
there is that pressure though, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, I've seen people who like kind of took a break 3 months and it feels like they just completely fell off the earth. So there is that pressure. So I try to do things like repurposing old content to kind of just stay in the face of people so it don't feel like I'm not doing anything. But, you know, like True Talk Tony was my first release this year, and we 3 months in the year already. So I've only released 2 songs this year. And, you know, so I am feeling that pressure. Like, okay, I got to drop something else. But I also want to rush it. I don't want to rush it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, I'm gonna just drop it when I drop it, but I'm gonna stay relevant, you know, repurposing old content.
Right.
I might post a video of me talking or speaking or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's things you can do in between without just only releasing music.
Right.
Yeah, that's my goal. That's my plan.
Well, also as like we're upcoming as artists, you know, some of the stuff that might be, you know, somewhat old to us is new to a lot of new listeners, you know, like a lot of songs don't blow up until a lot later.
That's true.
And you're like, man, I dropped that years ago, you know, but it's
I had a song Free. I dropped it in 2023. And when I initially dropped it, it did good. And then the wave died down. But just as of recent, it picked back up again.
Yeah.
And it's old reels that's starting to go crazy. A lot of people starting to use the song. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's keeping me alive, too.
It's weird how the internet works.
Man, it's so weird, bro. And because there's a lot of people in our space, which I don't agree with. I get it, but I can't fully support it, is when, like, you know, Christian artists, like they'll take a secular song and they'll recreate it almost exactly the same, because a lot of Christians aren't listening, so they don't know where this song came. They just think it's, you know, something that you came up with. And I think that's cheating the art of it. It's just like, man, be original. Like, we all get inspiration.
Are these like remixes to other songs? Or
No. There's a difference between, because I've done Christian remixes where, like I was saying, the international players. Like, I just got on there and I just started rapping. And then, like, my song Free is like, I flipped the old D-roll beat. Not the beat, but I flipped this hook. You know what I'm saying? And made it, you know, but I'm talking about people, like, going purposely listening to this song. Just say you got a song, right?
Yeah.
I go listen to it, and I take everything. I recreate the beat. I take your cadence. I take what you're saying, but I just make it Christian.
Okay.
And then I sell it.
And is it like apparent that it's Christian, or are they still kind of...
No, it's Christian, but it's just like, it's saying exactly what you said. I'm just going to change the words to make it sound Christian.
Okay.
So it's whack.
It's almost like making a parody of it. Or
That's crazy.
Or not like a parody.
No, it is a parody. Because when you think about it,
authentic.
It's not authentic. It's really a parody. But I've seen people, like, go crazy off of it. And I'm just be like, nah, bro.
That's not me.
Yeah, that's stealing.
Yeah.
It's plagiarism.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can get sued for that.
Yeah, how do you feel about, like, a lot of the music nowadays is recycled, you know, a lot of sampled stuff. Some of it's tasteful, other stuff is like, come on, you know?
I think it's got to be tastefully done, man. Like, you know, like, even with the Duro flip that I did of the hook, like, the hook is the same, but my verses and the beat sounds nothing like it. It was just something cool. I was like, oh, that, you know, that actually works. And, you know, I've seen, you know, people do it, but it's just got to be tastefully done, bro. Right. And it can't be like you stealing somebody's song.
Right.
You know? And inspiration is there's nothing wrong with inspiration, bro.
Yeah.
You just taking people's stuff, bro. You need to chill.
Yeah, with me, it's like hard for me to like niche down in music. Like whatever I'm feeling, whatever I hear, like I want to make that, you know. So that's why lately I pick up my guitar and I'm singing. And a lot of my old projects were like hip hop, and that was a big thing when I was in LA. You know, I had some like meetings with like labels and stuff, and they were talking about, you know, oh, you got to pick a niche, you know, you got to stay, or else how can we sell you? How can we market you and stuff? And I feel like as an artist, that takes away from your artistry. You want to make what you want to make in that moment, you know, what you're feeling,
100%.
That's
how, man, like, even like, cause I did like a sort of an Afrobeat like type of song. It's called Darkest Night, right? And I was just like, man, like, I know I'm a rapper. I'm not just a West Coast artist. Like, I'm not just a Southern artist. I can do anything, like, cause I love writing music, and like whatever inspires me is what I want to write. And if I like it, I'm gonna put it out. So I don't say it wasn't backlash. It just wasn't the best feedback. People was like, this is dope, but I ain't never really heard you do nothing like this before. I'm like, so? Like, is it dope or not? If it's trash, then I'm not. But if you're saying it's good, but your only hiccup is, like, you've never heard me do anything like that. Like, like I'm not a niche artist. Like, I just want to do whatever I want to do.
Do you feel, like, bummed out when someone's not feeling a new style that you switched it up, or, you know, like?
I wouldn't say bummed out. I like, when I send, like, I don't send music to people that's just going to tell me they like it all the time. Yeah. Like, I send music to people who actually, you know, critics, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, nah.
Give you feedback.
Give me good feedback, you know what I'm saying? And constructive criticism. So I don't feel bummed, but I do think like, well, why don't you like this? Yeah. Is it only because you ain't heard me? Yeah. You know what I'm saying on this? So I'm careful who I send the music to. And, you know, I just think it's, you know, it just depends. Like, I'm bummed if I get offended, like, with my wife or, like, my kids don't like stuff. I don't know why with them or, like, my brother.
Yeah.
But I be like, man, what you mean? Because I'm like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about.
Well, where do you record out of? You got a home studio or you?
I have an actual studio.
So maybe they just hear it too much.
They hear it too much. Yeah, they tired of hearing beats. They tired of hearing my songs.
Because, I mean, for us as artists, I mean, we'll play one little part over and over,
yep.
you know. And
speaking of that song, that I'm saying I'm gonna release. I listened to it the whole way here.
Yeah,
like, okay, I want to do this. I want to change this.
Yeah,
they tired of it.
That's how it goes, man. When you're making music, they think it's you just come in and do it, but really, there's this whole process to this.
Whole process, man. The mixing, I don't mix or produce. Like, I don't think I could either. It's too.
So you just record at your spot and then you send it out for mixing, or do you have a studio?
I have two. I have a studio and I have 2 producers that I work with, Mac Busy and KAG. They both are amazing producers and mixing engineers as well.
Awesome.
So like, I'm kind of spoiled. So like everything, a lot of stuff I do is in house. You know what I'm saying?
Was that a lot of like trial and error, finding a team that you like working with, or?
Yeah, man. Well, me and KAG, like, he was a part of that group, RPSMG, that I spoke about earlier. So me and him, like, we kind of locked in like early, but I ended up working with some other producers and things like that, and they they were kind of here and gone and, not really consistent and not really. But then I found Mac Busy. Crazy story about Mac Busy is he was in Fairfield and somebody introduced me to him and he showed me some beats and they were not good at all. And then literally like 5 years later, maybe 3, 4, 5 years or something like that. Anyway, somebody said, hey, man, I want to introduce you to this kid, a young kid. He's in college. You go to Sac State. Whoa, whoa. Yeah. And then in walks the same kid. And in my head, I'm like, oh, here we go. I was like, I did not like him last
But did you tell him all of that? Like, when you heard
I didn't say nothing at first. But he remembered.
Okay.
So he didn't say anything. So when I seen him, I was like, maybe he don't remember me. Or maybe he don't remember. And then he started playing beats. And I was like, oh, he got way better.
He was ready. He was ready. All right. Next time I see you.
And so we ended up chopping it up about that. Yeah. He's like, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I knew you didn't like those beats. And I was like, yeah, bro, they was not good at all.
Maybe that's what he needed to.
That's what, and he, he went, he kept working, he got better. And now he produced pretty much, I would say, 70, 80% of Second Wind. You know what I'm saying? That's my biggest album to this day. So
where can we find that album for the listeners at home?
Man, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, anywhere you can get music, except on SoundCloud. Yeah. Anywhere you can pay or stream music, you can get it.
Yeah, you got to support, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Run up them streams.
Run up them streams. I wish people would buy albums more.
Yeah.
And
I think, once you kind of get like a big following, you could do that nowadays. I know like Nipsey was like doing that, selling, I
think it was called Proud to Pay, right?
Proud to Pay,
Proud to Pay, yeah.
So
sell them for $1,000. I think he sold them for $1,000.
Yeah, it's like a limited amount.
Yeah.
So just the diehard fans can. But it's hard. It's like, but I want my music accessible to everyone, and they're all on these main platforms. So
like Lil Russell's doing that. You know what I'm saying? He does like it's almost like the Proud to Pay. Okay. I think it's the same, like where he'll release something and he was like, hey, you can get it on this app. Right. You can pay for it on this app. Pay what you want or something like that. For like a limited amount of time, and then it goes live on like, because you got to do it on DSPs, like you have to.
I mean,
there's no way around it.
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, we're not making enough as we should be.
Spotify's so scandalous, bro.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like back in the day, if you say you got a million streams, you sold 1 million records for $10 a record, $20 a record. Yeah. Even if you have to pay out the label, the writers, all that. Yeah. Whereas now it's like, man,
point. Like, how do you even calculate something?
It's it's like a tenth of a cent per stream.
That's crazy.
And it's like,
but you know what's so scandalous about Spotify is, literally, if we didn't upload our music there, they would not exist. Yeah. But they make us feel like we need them, but they really need us. Right. It's crazy.
And I feel like there is some like seniority or something going on where bigger the top artists are getting a bigger percentage or something funky going on, man.
Yeah, I know they giving Drake more than tenth of a cent.
Right. So I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, because they got the most, streams and
for sure. Drake got like 1 billion something. Yeah. It's crazy.
And if you still can't make a living off that, something's wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong. Man, 1 million streams, bruh, used to mean something. Like back in like even 2017, if you got like a million views, now it's just like, oh, everybody got a million views. Everybody going viral. It doesn't mean anything no more.
Yeah, I mean, I got a plaque over there. I think it got like 6 million views.
Yeah.
Does nothing for me. I mean, that was over a period of time, but sure. I mean, that's still not much. You gotta, nowadays you're making your money off your merch, your shows. I did want to talk to you more about, you got some upcoming shows, but I want to hear a little bit about some of your first performances, until how you progressed till now.
Yeah, nah, man. First performances. Funny story is, like, I was actually at church and they knew I rap, but I wasn't prepared, and they called me on stage and was like, "Hey, man, come rap, bro." And I totally froze. Like, it was bad.
Yeah, we've all had those.
It was bad, bro. So therefore, I was like, man, I got to be prepared. So like,
just during your set kind of thing, or
it wasn't even a set.
Oh,
like, I wasn't even like, I just got called. Hey, you come rap.
Oh, okay.
I was like, ooh.
Put on the spot.
Yeah, man. I be seeing people like I'm one of those dudes. Like, I got to be prepared. If I ever go on Sway. Yeah, I'm writing something. Yeah. I'm gonna let you know now. Like, I gotta be prepared. Yeah. But like my first shows was like, just, man, sink or swim, bro. Yeah. Like, I was just getting out there, rapping over my lyrics, all that type of stuff. It was just bad.
Hey, I've had those when I was starting out. I think I fell on stage one time.
I almost fell at my last concert in last year. But I caught myself. Okay. That's like my biggest fear.
Like, I meant to do that.
Yeah, right. Because I'm a bigger dude, too. So, bigger dudes, they're going to automatically make even more fun. Oh, you fatty, you fell.
Hey, but when you're out there turning up like that,
Yeah, nah. But, man, live shows is probably my favorite part of being an artist. Yeah. Because you get to see the live reaction.
Right, from the crowd, the energy.
From the crowd, they're singing the lyrics. Like, because, I write by myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But then when you get to see the people actually enjoy it in front of you, something that you just had in your room or in your studio by yourself, and then now the masses.
That's the greatest feeling, bro. Are you at that point right now where your fans are out there singing along to a lot of the songs?
Yeah, okay. For sure. Not everybody, but I look in the crowd, like, I'm like, okay, they know this. Like, I don't got to explain this song,
How do you win over some of the crowd that's still trying to get into feeling your music and stuff?
You know what I think it is, man? It's confidence in, like, me performing so much, knowing how to control a room. Like, when people see that you not scared of them, or they see that, like, you're confident in your music, like, they start to respect it. Like, so, like, I go on a stage, like, hey, yo, what's up? My name is, what I'm saying? And I'm getting right to it. Yeah. Or, like, a lot of times I'll come out and I'll just, like, with the song, like, I'm not even, like, my first song, normally I don't even address the crowd. I just come out and just go. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? How y'all energy is at like a 3. We trying to get it to like a 10 by the end of the show. Then, you know what I'm saying? So now, and I'll crack a joke here and there. Yeah, man. So that's how you do
something. Yeah, for sure. Just make them a part of the show.
Exactly. Yeah. Because people can sense that, man. If you nervous, like, I can see it. I'm like, oh, he nervous. She nervous. Like, so you got to have that. You got to be very confident. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists out there that, I mean, maybe even their material isn't the best, but they're confident, and that wins over, a fan right there.
For sure. So, right away.
Yeah.
I see a lot of, like people, I was like, man, they don't know how to perform, like, at all. Like, some people just be up there, like, I think LaMelo Ball, like, I just seen him at Rolling Loud.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, bro, what are you up there doing?
I was like, you need a belt, bro.
Yeah. His hands kept falling down, and, like,
they're being held up by his in-ear monitors, bro.
Exactly. He didn't even know how to hold the mic correctly. I was like, man.
Like, cupping it? Or what? Okay.
He was cupping it. He had it, like, he was holding it, like, I'm like, hey, bro, lift your hand up. You look weird up there, bro.
It's so easy to do that, and you got to remind yourself, especially, like, seasoned performers,
For sure.
You don't do that.
Nah, you cannot be up there cuffing the mic and some people don't care, but
yeah, definitely. So you got some shows coming up, or you got a concert coming up? I want to hear about that.
Yeah, so March 30th at the Rink Studios. It's actually a fairly newer venue. It's right in Del Paso Heights. La Russell was just there. They had Hovey there. They had a lot of people there.
And it's a full-on venue, or
it's a full-on venue? Okay. Yeah, man. It's really dope, man. They got everything. They got the LED wall. They got the dope sound. They got you can even live stream. Okay, it's a full venue, bro. It's really dope. So I'm excited that they let me in there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give me no Saturday. They was like, you got to do it on Sunday though. Right. Because, like, I guess at my shows, I'm not gonna sell a lot of alcohol. You know, it's a Christian environment.
Right,
so you know, so they be like, hey, we need the bar.
Because they make a lot of money
out of that. Yeah. So they like, you ain't gonna sell the alcohol. I was like, yeah, right. But hey, we're gonna try to get as many people in there. So it's
we're gonna fill the room though. So.
Yeah, exactly. Try to, man. That's you know, Josh P. He's from Sacramento. He's doing the show with me. I got some special guests coming. And it's March 30th. It's a Sunday night, man. All ages welcome. It's gonna be dope. We got the live band, we got everything. So it's gonna be a real vibe.
Where do we get tickets if we want to go?
You can get tickets on my Instagram. Just DM me. I can send you the link, or you can just go to the link in my bio on my Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. You know
all right. Are they gonna be tickets at the door too, or
tickets at the door? So I'm letting you know now. If you come to the door, it's gonna be a $5 upcharge. So it's $25. And if at the door it's 30.
It might even be sold out. So get your tickets as soon as possible.
Exactly, yeah. March 30th, man. March 30th. Everybody there.
The Ring Studios, where is that located?
That's in Del Paso Heights. I don't want to say the wrong address. I forgot the address, but yeah.
We'll put it down here, right here.
I got you. I'll send it to you.
Definitely. All right, man. Well, where do you see what's next for Mission, and where do you see Christian hip hop heading next? You know.
Yeah. Next for me, man, I'm I keep saying this, but I'm gonna get back on my podcast. Me and my wife have a podcast called Kicking It with the Smiths, and we plan to get back on that. And I just continue to drop more music, drop more merch, and like really just be established in the game as a seasoned vet. And I want to start. I have a label. It's called All You None of Me. I want to sign some artists, but just kind of in my own way, not like signing them to like a label and like, shelving them or, in a bad way, but just kind of, pushing them and just kind of helping artists more so versus than signing them.
Right.
So wherever that falls. And then, I see Christian hip hop, man. I think it's going to be accepted as just regular hip hop, man. I think it's going to be accepted as, as mainstream because of the quality and the work that we've been putting in, because a lot of the music that's been dropping lately, man, it's like, it's up there. Like, and even if you don't believe what we believe, you can, like, because there's secular songs, you know what I'm saying, to use that term, that I like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't live that lifestyle. I can't relate to it. You know what I'm saying? I can't, completely vibe with it, but I'm like, this is actually dope. This is a talented artist. Yeah. And I think people will start seeing us like that as well once they start diving into the catalogs, diving into, the production. And it seems like, you know what? I don't necessarily believe what this guy believes, but this is a good song.
Right.
And I think we should be able to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? This is a good song. And it doesn't matter that I don't believe what you believe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, like, let's push this as well. And it's positive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I see a lot, and I'll say this, and I see a lot of people, complain about violence and all that type of stuff. But then, when it's something positive coming along, they don't get behind it as much. So
I think more than ever, a lot of people are coming to God,
Yeah, for sure.
And, do you think the music, so like listening to them, like you said, they might like fully not believe it, but the more they get into it, is that like kind of bringing faith back into their life? And
I believe so, man. Like there was a guy, I've never been to prison in my life. And there's a guy who said, man, you got me through a 7-year prison sentence and I gave my life back over to God.
Yeah, that's
from
awesome.
Listening to your music. You know what I'm saying?
That's so cool.
And I'm like, oh, dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, that's why it's so important. Like, man, what am I saying in these songs? Like,
right.
Am I living this? You know what I'm saying? People can feel that through the track. So I think for sure, man, it words is powerful. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible talks about, how powerful words are. You know what I'm saying? Like the biggest lie I think we've been told is sticks and stones break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's like, man, words have hurt me way more than, you know what I'm saying? But words has also encouraged me. Words has also kept me going. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, more than ever nowadays, like, with everything that's going on,
For sure.
So people need that. People need that positive music in their life.
Absolutely.
I definitely see a turning point,
For sure.
More people are just sick of, the violence and the, like
sex, money, drugs. Like, all right, man, overkill. We get it. Like, like you can make good music without that.
Yeah. I think people are fed up. It's that whole market's oversaturated. And,
We've been lied to, man.
Yeah.
We've been lied to.
Definitely, man. You were talking about some of your merch, where can we find your merch? You got a website? Or?
Yeah, so right now the site is down, but eventually it'll be lynom.com.
Okay.
And, like I got some dope stuff that like, because I stopped selling it online and just doing it at shows.
Yeah.
But man, I got some dope stuff because like my song Frito's going crazy. I got a shirt that says that. I got a song like even this is like
this is part of your merch, right?
Yeah, this is part of my merch. So it says "Look at Me Now," and on the back it says "I got a testimony."
Okay.
And that's a song that I did called "Testimony." So like a lot of the merch will be based off of the songs.
Yeah.
But I also want to make it to where like even if you don't know that song, you'll rock it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking a lot of time and like getting into the quality and making sure that it's a good hoodie or a good T-shirt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just trying to get the guild and then just throw it on there. And,
You so seeing more people rocking the brand and
absolutely yeah. Oh, shout out just the hat too. You know what I'm saying? This is all you know to me with the Dipset eagle on the side.
Oh, that's dope. That's hard.
So, a lot of people have been, rocking it lately. A lot of people have been asking about it. So I try to wear it, as much as possible. So, yeah, man, people love it. Like even today, somebody was like, hey, man, you going to have merch at the concert? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
definitely, that's dope. I was gonna ask you real quick. We were talking about Miles Minnick. I actually know his producer Dars. Have you heard of Dars?
Mm-hmm.
I think he follows you. Yeah,
Dars the guy.
Yeah,
Young Dars. Pull it up in 4.
Yeah, it's crazy because at Rolling Loud, they just every song it was just his tag.
Yeah.
I was like,
Dars,
that's so
man,
cool.
Dars been locked in for a minute, man.
Okay.
I actually had a chance to go up to his studio. I was working with this guy named Mark Stevie. That's my dude. He was on the label. And Dars produced a couple tracks for him. So Dars is dope, man. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's produced a couple of my songs. We have a song together, and then he's gonna be next on the podcast.
Dope,
Sunday,
man. So, tell Dars I said what's up.
Yeah, I will.
That's my dude. Okay. Yeah, Dars is dope. Yeah.
Definitely. Hell yeah, man.
Shout out Dars.
Shout out Dars. All right, well, this has been the Citrus Podcast Show, your fresh squeeze of music, art, and culture. As always, I'm your host, Ky Richy, here with Mission. You can follow us on Instagram at Citrus Podcast, and you can follow Mission on Instagram at
Mission is Music on everything.
Mission is Music. All right, well, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we're going to be doing a live performance tonight. Our live performance tonight is by Christian hip hop artist Mission performing Famous.
What's up, everybody? My name is Mission. We perform my song Famous, my album True Talk Tony. I'm at the Citrus Podcast. Let's get to it. Yeah. Hey. Look, I go to sleep. If I'm awake, it ain't no guarantee. Get on my knees, send up a prayer, make sure he know it's me. I walk with God. If it's on land, even on the sea, defeat the odds. That's why he told me that I gotta see my mama work 2 jobs and never cheat the system. Hit my dad, but he ain't got no child support to give him. Hey, if you broke even the bad, you take the proposition. In desperation, make your friend look like the opposition. I've been walking with a smile, but I really ain't happy the whole time. I pray to God to make me strong as Miss Angie. She done lost it and she gained it back. We all do, ain't no shame in that. I'm cautious, you can't play with that. Said it, you can't take it back. Wanted money, wanted fame, thought it could fix the pain. Turned on the news, they said a famous man blew out his brains. Renew my soul, renew my mind, I really need a change. Whole time I had Jesus saying, need a thing. Yeah, almost let him play me. Wanted to be famous, had money on my mind. Yeah, we had a couple close calls, but I never crossed the line. Yeah, he had to free my soul. Mama used to tell me I'm a miracle. I was too attached to the physical. Yeah, I guess my fears worked so hard and never reached the top. Was me and AG in that room just trying to make it pop. Man, I asked God if he ain't pleased and he can tell me stop. Got tired of praying for success, so I just switched the topic. Never mind my logic, you can't be there when we down and you ain't solid. Man, I gave when I ain't have, so when I get it, know you got it, man. Humble, had no choice but living modest. Can we make it out these trenches? If we do, then we can fly. Got the money, got the fame, but tell me what I gain. If I can't take it when I leave, they flush it down the drain. Renew my soul, renew my mind, I really need a change. Whole time I had Jesus saying, need a thing. Almost let him play me. Wanted to be famous, had money on my mind. Yeah, we had a couple close calls, but I never crossed the line. Yeah, he had to free my soul. Mama used to tell me I'm a miracle. I was too attached to the physical.